Donald Trump last night did what he wanted to do. Number one, he got on the record that his accomplishments in the first 6 weeks were fairly extraordinary, which is true, both good and bad. And number two, he taunted the Democratic Party into making a myriad of mistakes. I think the Democratic Party is on the verge of collapse. And I liken it to 1931, when Herbert Hoover and the Republican Party basically said to the very suffering American people in the Depression, we're not helping you. You got to do it on your own. It's all about self-reliance. We're not going to give you any safety nets. That led to 5 consecutive Democratic wins. 5. Not until Dwight Eisenhower, 20 years later, did the Republicans recover.
The collapse of the Democratic Party is upon us as they scramble to find an answer. The View's Sunny hosting calls for violence against lawmakers. Democrats release another cringe video, and Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries goes on an unhinged rant regarding Congressman Al Green's censure. Now, guys, we got a lot to go through, so let's go ahead and jump right into it with the desperation of the Democratic Party. Watch.
This is a song for all the good people. We're joined together by this noble dream. Well, this is a song for all of those dreamers. We're looking for answers to come our way. Scientists, doctors, students, all seekers, we share in the hopes for a much brighter day. Come on now. Well, this is a song for all the good people, all the good people who are part of this family. This is a song for all the good people. We're joined together by this noble dream.
Is the Democratic Party on the verge of collapse, or are they going to be able to survive this mess? Type Dem collapse if you guys think that their downfall is inevitable, or they'll rig it if you believe that they're going to find a way to hold on to power somehow. Now, for anybody who's wondering, that's former NIH Director Francis Collins. And I'm not really sure why, but Democrats seem to have a tendency to sing whenever they feel oppressed. But the fact is that the country isn't healthy at all, which goes back to what these people did to our nation. So them protesting and singing in the streets doesn't give them an edge. It actually makes it seem like they're completely out of touch with reality. And that's further proven when they tell us exactly what they're fighting for.
We have to stand up, but not just for science. We need to stand up for trans people who will not be erased. We need to stand up for black and brown people who are being targeted by anti-DEI policies. We need to stand up for immigrants who are being threatened with deportation. We need to stand up for Palestinians who are experiencing a genocide. We have to stand up and fight back. Not just for some grant funding, but for the future of our communities that are under attack.
They want to stand up for science, yet they don't respect the idea of basic human biology. And when it comes to the whole woke movement, I want to go back to President Trump's address to Congress, because the cameraman here knew exactly what they were doing. Watch.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer.
Now, I'm pretty sure that Representative Ilhan Omar didn't expect to be on TV as the president talked about the country not being woke anymore. But if we're talking about being woke, I want to go to the host of The View and how Sunny Hostin is calling for violence against anyone who doesn't support what Democrats are pushing for. Now, you guys might remember that Congressman Al Green got censured recently after he got kicked out, with 10 Democrats actually voting in favor of him being censured. Now, I'm guessing that they too weren't amused with Al Green's constant disruptions.
Yesterday, the House voted to censure Green, which inspired this show of unity from some Democrats. Watch this.
Representative Al Green be censured with public reading of this resolution by the Speaker.
It's touching, but it didn't unite them all because 10 Democrats voted to censure Green.
Wow. Do you want a list of the 10?
Do you want to hear their name?
Yes, I do.
Why go after them too? Go after the Republicans.
Because they don't know how to fight and be part of an opposition party. Representative Green gave them the example. The Democrats are not meeting the moment. It is very clear that Medicaid is on the table. It is very clear that Social Security is on the table. It is very clear that people will die. The baby boomers, the civil rights generation, they knew what they had to do. They were willing to fight and die for their rights. This generation of Congress, they are not meeting the moment.
Hold up. Did she just say that people have to be willing to die? And she's asking for these 10 Democrats as if they're traitors? Congressman Al Green was extremely disruptive to a point where the president was being shouted at mid-sentence. And he didn't even let up either. I don't know if he was drunk or something, but Sunny Hostin's basically calling for a fight to the death. Isn't she in the process of getting sued? Now, I also have to note that they named these Democrats on air. They want people to revolt and be angry and be pissed off, for Democrats to rage against their own lawmakers. And this is a very dangerous rhetoric here, guys. It's the same kind of dangerous language that they used against President Trump, calling him a threat to democracy. And what happened next? He faced 2 failed assassination attempts, with 1 bullet grazing his ear, leaving him bloodied. But again, they want to go ahead and project the hate onto the president. That's just what they do. That's their MO. But if you think about it, President Trump, he's a president that's called for peace. Now, a lot of Democrats like Sunny Hostin, they're pissed off about Al Green's censure. One of them was House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. So here's what this guy had to say about it.
I'm here in the office, just finished up a telephone town hall meeting with my dynamic sister, our Attorney General, Tish James, and my team informs me that some far-right extremists have introduced a resolution to try to throw Democratic members of the House off of our committees. That resolution is going nowhere. You ain't throwing no one off of any single committee. These people are malignant clowns. Andy Ogles is a fraud, a complete and total fraud. You aren't throwing anyone off of any committee in the House of Representatives. Don't make me expose you to folks who don't know you.
That is a clear threat. Now, I want you for a second, just imagine if this was the kind of threat that came from a Republican. Just how much backlash would they receive, right? And we also have to talk about just how lost the party is. It's like they're doing their very best to go viral with these different kinds of videos, but all they're doing is embarrassing themselves. So here's their latest attempt at convincing us that President Trump isn't working for the people of this country.
Follow the money with Donald Trump and you'll find out who he votes for.
Who does Donald Trump work for?
Shit, obviously Elon and them. He ain't working for us. That's all.
Donald Trump works for himself, the billionaires, the corporations, and Elon Musk.
Billionaires.
Not for the American people.
Who do you work for?
Trump ain't working for my mother. He's not working for yours either.
Who does Donald Trump work for?
Billionaires. His co-president, Elon Musk, he's just kind of going along with whatever Elon wants.
Elon Musk and the billionaires.
Not the people.
He is promising to deliver big on tax cuts for billionaires paid for on the backs of hardworking Americans.
And who do you work for?
I work for the American people.
I work for the people.
I work for you.
I work for the people of New York State, and particularly Brooklyn.
The people of this country. The people. The people. Shame on you, Donald Trump.
Kind of weird to have Nancy Pelosi talk about following the money when we know that she's dealt with insider trading. This again shows us just how disconnected that they are from average Americans. Here's the deal though, guys. They're going to keep making these cringe videos right up until they find some sort of success with it. But things are really bad when even CNN's Abby Phillip talks about how bad your messaging is.
Congresswoman, That TikTok trend, I don't even know where to begin. I'm not sure why this is necessary. I mean, there is like serious stuff happening in this country, but that seems to be just inviting ridicule.
So when you think about TikTok as a trend, we are trying to reach out to different people and different voters. And the woman who produced this is an influencer with 7 million followers. So this is lighthearted, it's fun. And every time you do something creative, you're going to get criticism, right? But I actually applaud them for trying to do something different. And here's the reality. 7 million followers, whether you think it's cringe or you like it, we're on CNN on a Thursday night and we're talking about it on national TV.
But I guess my question is, to what end? I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I mean, maybe you will get 7 million eyeballs, but what is the point?
I am not accustomed to helping your party do anything.
Yep.
But let me give you some advice. This was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And if you read the comments today, Lord have mercy. Look, scrambling for new social media and communication strategies is not a replacement for fixing what's actually wrong. Your party has a 21% approval rating right now, congressional Democrats.
Well, let's talk about fixing what's wrong. Donald Trump is doing nothing for the American people.
And he has a 50% approval rating.
But he's doing nothing for the American people.
And so
he's not lowering the cost of living.
Advice
he tells lies.
Fix the policy and leave the gimmicks behind.
Yes,
but like I said, guys, Democrats are not going to quit on these gimmicks. They're just going to keep on doing this stuff because they have nothing when it comes to policy. So they're just going to continue to make cringy videos that you and I are also going to continue to call out and make fun of. Now, at this point, I want to link you guys to a previous live stream that I did where I talked about the Doge dividend stimulus checks. It's now getting all sorts of support with the expectation that legislation will soon be passed. So anyway, make sure you guys check that out. As always, appreciate your time. Thanks for hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll see you guys next time.